Huska, you've worked with Noah Hannafin
Yeah.
the last few years and probably gotten to know him, the person and the player. And 600 tonight, that's one thing. But what can you tell us about him, his game, and maybe why he's here at 26 years of age at this milestone?
Well, one, I think it's because of the way he skates. It's pretty amazing that when you're 26 years old and you're at 600 already. So that it goes to show that he is in good shape. He takes care of himself away from the rink at a young age, and I think a lot of it has to do with his skating ability for sure. Like he is one of those guys that doesn't seem to get tired, and when you don't get tired, you don't put yourself in a ton of situations. His game over the years has evolved for me, where I think he's way more responsible on the defensive side of the game than what he was at when he first came to play for our team. And I do feel like he's continued to take steps every year, and that's what you look for out of him. And he's a guy now that we use in every situation, so he's a key guy for us.
His ice time over the years has kind of steadily increased too. I mean,
Yeah.
is that part of what you just described, that maturity too? But is there more to go? Like, could he take on more? That ceiling continue to rise?
I think there's more to go. I mean, you always talk about defensemen. They take a little longer to get to where they want to be, and Noah's no different. There's always little things that he's trying to improve on. A lot of it is what he does with the puck, what he's doing away from the puck. But every year, I feel like every day he's taking steps because he wants to be better, and that's the big thing. He's not just a guy that comes and puts his stuff on and goes and plays. He really tries to make himself better every day, which we love about him.
And leadership, are you starting to see that evolve? I know he's a
Yeah.
quiet guy, but are you starting to see him become more of a leader or maybe even more of a voice in that room?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we've talked before about the guys that actually wear the letters for us, but we have a bigger leadership group, and without a doubt, Noah's in that. Like he's kind of the in-between guy between the older guys and the younger guys, where the younger guys are really comfortable with him, the older guys are comfortable with him. So he's a great fit for our group in that regard.
Why do you like that fit with him and Rasmus?
I think both guys have offensive ability, and I think over the years they've turned themselves into good two-way defensemen as well. So I feel like the skating ability that Noah has, you can play him against top six forwards, I guess, if you want to call it that. And they've seemed to have some chemistry together, the two of them. So it seems to work, and we'll keep using it until the time tells us otherwise.
I think you touched on it before today, but now that you're here, this road trip, it's underway, and what that can do for your group. You've had a lot from Oliver to Pelts to all the emotions that went into the snow funeral and everything else.
Yeah.
Why is this road trip the perfect tonic for your group?
I don't even know if it's a tonic. I just think early in the year getting on the road is important. I mean, you have the bus to the airport, you have on the plane, you get off the plane, you go to practice, you go back to the hotel together, they go for dinner together, a lot of them. So it's just about being around each other. So this is the time where you get to know a teammate. You might go out for dinner with somebody a little different than you normally would, so now you get to learn a little bit about a new teammate. So you can't necessarily get that at home because guys have families, they have lives, and they have other duties that they have to attend to when they're away from the rink. But when you're on the road, it's all about your teammates.
We always talk about home game, establishing the building as a difficult place to come, but can the same be said about the road, establishing your road style here?
Yeah, I think you have to. I don't think there should be a change in the way you play at home and on the road. Like you should try to dictate the play wherever you are. Now that's a tough task in a lot of the buildings that you have to play in for sure with some of the teams that you're going to play against. But I think if you can focus on as a team what we do well, it shouldn't matter if it's at the Saddle Dome or if it's here. So we just want to make sure we're improving on the areas that we struggled with against Winnipeg, and we're focused on being a better team tonight.
Why was Winnipeg able to dictate that first 10 minutes of the game? Or
Yeah.
Was it something they were doing or something you weren't doing?
Yeah, it wasn't. They started dictating once we took the penalty. So that power play was what they got a lot of momentum off of. So I would say that was it. 5-on-5 for the first number of shifts was fairly back and forth and even. Yeah.
Dennis, looks like you might get a chance to get in here tonight. So what do you look to see from him as he kind of builds on what he was able to get back and finish at the end of preseason?
Yeah, he's an energetic guy that always plays the game the same way. So we know what we're going to get from him. He's come into camp in good shape, same thing, and at times you have Big Z out there that's able to finish hits, but it's nice to have another option for Dennis to come in as well and do the same thing. He's got an identity to him. And when we've talked lots of times before, when you pair someone with Chris, they tend to bring out the best in that partner. So we're looking for that out of him tonight.